Whew. Good evening. So, got a gig. Been home one day and I got a gig. I'm trying to stay on it. Because I know the holidays are coming up. Don't follow that shit. Following that pig and shit. I know the holidays are coming up and I know that things are really going to slow down. Ooh, sorry. And so, it's out of that knowledge that I want to work as much as possible. The one thing about temping is that there's going to be days where you don't work for 3 or 4 days sometimes. You might work 1 day a week. That's all part of the game. So you learn to A, always be ready, always be on duty, and B, to work as much as possible. It's almost weird how sometimes it's when I want to work or feel like working, I don't get the jobs, and it's times I don't want to work or I don't get the jobs. You get a feel of it pretty quickly. I'll tell you, it is 44 degrees, and I'm out here in short sleeves. I got my little scarf in the back. Got my little scarf in the back, and I got my gloves and stuff. But being in Hickory, where it's 30 degrees every day, this is not cold. Because it would just start snowing out of nowhere out there. Thank God it would stick. But I've got all these tools and stuff in my storage unit. And I got de-icer and shit. The one thing I had was this little piece of junk. I mean, it's big, but it's a piece of junk. So I'm always looking for things to better my career and put myself in a better position. Obviously, I'm looking at getting in law enforcement, but looking for better positions. I've been doing mail for a year and a half, 2 years now, on and off. You really get a hang of it. I've gotten a hang of it. Honestly, I like doing it. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty easy work. So, damn, that's what across me. I applied to work for Salmon, people I'm going to work for tonight. I applied with them on, it'd be for the holiday season. And so I applied with them in North Little Rock. Now remember, I've been working for Salmon for over a year and a half. Been driving their trucks. I even have a login number. I know a lot of those guys out there by name. Alfred and all these guys, I know them. They have my numbers. I know them. So I saw more lights behind me. So I did that, and a lady asked me about my misdemeanor firearms conviction, perfect judgment that I had back in 2011. So she asked me, would it be on my motor vehicle record? And I'm like, no, because my answer was, it was more than 10 years ago. It's 2019. It's about more than 10 years ago. And she kind of laughed. My answer should have been, why would it be? It wasn't a motor vehicle ticket. It wasn't a ticket. It was a misdemeanor. Me firing that gun had nothing to do with my driving record at all. And she would know that if she pulled it. And now I look back at it and I realized right then she was telling me something. And I want to talk about that. One thing about rednecks, people living in the South, is they have little ways to keep you from getting the job. They got their little ways. That's something I learned about when they complain about like gay people and the laws and all this stuff. It's because they want to maintain control. For one thing, you're judging me for something I did before I even got into trucking to begin with. Okay. I hadn't even driven a truck yet. I mean, when I did that, I got my CDL 2010. I didn't even drove a truck yet. And then I've been driving truck for 6 years now, over the road and regional and stuff. And you're talking about that, a prayer for judgment. I don't know, man. Hillbillies have little ways. What they do. One thing I learned is hillbillies, their way of doing things their hustle isn't based on law. Their hustle is based on keeping you out of stuff. What do I mean? Like I had this thing years ago. Somebody took somebody somewhere and they stole something. And what they did was they told me I couldn't come back until they told, I didn't steal it, the other person did. And the police even said that. And they said, the person that was running the place said, you can't come back until I discuss it with the owner. And so they never discussed it with the owner. You see how they do it? I was not charged with a crime, none of that stuff. It was just basically that you just can't come back until, you know what I mean? That's what rednecks do. They got it's like when I had that gun thing. And it took me 2.5 years to get my guns back, all my property back, because a lazy ass pig wouldn't fill out the paperwork. I had to call the mayor's office. That's why I learned, when you deal with law enforcement, always get a lawyer. Always get a lawyer. Because they're sneaky. These bastards are sneaky, and they know how to do things to keep you from getting your property, basically by them not taking action. That's how, unless they have to do something, they won't do it. Yeah. When you deal with CMPD, deal with law enforcement, get a lawyer. These cops are sneaky bastards. And they got to be made. You have to make them do the right. You have to make them do their jobs. We're supposed to follow law, but they don't. That's why I kind of lost respect for law enforcement out of that one incident, because you're not judge, jury, executioner. I went to my court case. You didn't go, officer. So whose fault is that? If you don't show up to the court case, by default, you know what I mean? You don't get to then 6 months. Well, I'm not. No, that's not how that works. Imagine if I done that. I said, all right, police don't get here in 5 minutes. I'm going to go kill this man. And the police don't get there, so I'm going to kill him. I can't do that. No. I can't do that, whether the police are there or not. That's against the law. I told the DA that. I said, if that's the policy that, and this is before things started getting bad, violence. I said, that's the policy that police can just break the law, violate judges' orders. If they can do that stuff, why should anybody follow the law? I told the DA that on the phone. I said, why should anybody follow the law? Why don't we all just drive 80 miles per hour in school zones? Why don't we pull over? Why do we move over police? They can't pull us all over. Why not side swipe the police car? What's the point? They ain't following the law, so why should I? Being a good citizen? No. And I like to believe that because of that, the DA, I like to believe like she felt like that was wrong, but then the mayor's office, I called the mayor's office like around the same amount of times. I don't know. It could have been one or the other. That's why he never said nothing bad about, the brother's name was Cannon, I think. I never said nothing bad about him because of that. He helped me get my property back. I think, called the state boy. I called everybody. I'm the wrong dude to fuck with, but getting off, way off subject. I'm sorry. Got a little irritated there. I just feel like it's wrong to judge, and a part of me feels like that means I shouldn't have been there anyway. If that's the case. If that's really how you feel about justice and things like that, then that's cool. I shouldn't be there anyway. Here I am, been working on and off temp work for Salmon for years. I'm going to work. I ain't done a mail run with anybody in about a month, I think. Like, I don't know what happened, but there was one they were going to put me on, but then the last late ticket took me off, and I was like, man, I think that was like after Thanksgiving. No, it was before Thanksgiving. I was like, man, after Thanksgiving. That really hit me, because I wanted to do that. This is $26 an hour. All I'm doing is driving my car to Greensboro, doing a little run backwards, and then driving back. $26 an hour. And I'm going to drag it out. Honestly, I like temp work. It's a good job. I do worry because temp work is really, in my mind, is based off the economy. Meaning if to have temp work, that essentially means that you've got so much business, you need extra people to keep making money, regardless of the economy. You know, like, you need somebody right now to drive this truck. Because I'm going to show up late. When they call me, the load's already late. And the lady that works at that Greensboro going to make a easy fit, she doesn't realize I'm not showing up late on purpose. Like, if I showed up late on purpose, I wouldn't have a job. Like, to show up, like, I've showed up 2 and 3 hours late. I've showed up so late before in Charlotte, the mail wasn't even on the dock. And they just had to just give me a slip and let me go. That's happened, where they just let me go. So, there's no way I would be late like this with any company. Trust me, I drove trucks, especially not running mail. So the fact, you know, but she doesn't understand that. That's cool. It's nerdy looking black woman work up there at Greensboro plant. She's the only person on the scanner that had her names. She actually puts like this code or something. I think they're supposed to do it. Nobody does that. Everybody just puts their name, or they put like their first initial, their name. Nobody does that. So she, I guess, is old school. But that, I don't know. No, but I like doing this. Even if it wasn't $20 an hour, which it is, I would still like doing this. It's really cool. I like working nights. I like the job. You know, you gotta clean the truck. I was doing this run. It's funny because I did the run. I used to do this run all the time, where I would run up to Greensboro, I would stop at a place right off where I live at. The Information Drive or whatever by IBM, and I would get my Wall Street Journal, and then from there I'd go on to the Greensboro spot, and then the other one was the drop you bring back to Charlotte, straight back to Charlotte. I did that for a week or so, and I liked it, and they were going to give me a full-time position, and that night I took a 3-hour nap. And Salmon said they didn't want no more to do with me. Miss Pat was like, what happened? I want no more to do with me. And I went to Eagle. Because if you're not doing mail, you're not really making money. And so I did that, and when I came back, they had me doing the same exact route. Except it's the Wall Street part out of it. I was like, wow. Are you for real? That got me. That blew me away, you know. Well, by then, Salmon had been bought out by Eagle. It's another company. Not same tanker, but it's another company called Eagle. Got bought out by them. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Because I like doing this. It's cool. It's a little bit scary because you wonder how you're gonna pay your rent. I'm trying to learn to pray about those things, and not dwell on them, but something to think about. It was kind of rough. Yeah. But like I said, I enjoy doing this quite a bit. It's easy work. Mail is easy work. Very simple work. I don't like McCormick. They had those sleeper trucks, and it's crazy. When I first got a truck driving, I like sleepers and stuff, and now it's like, no. Unless I'm honestly, man, I would rather just spend money getting a hotel or something. Like, that's not where it's at. Sleeping in the truck. That's not where it's at. Get my little shower filter and let's go. That's not where it's at. I'm beyond that stuff. Real talk. It's easier to back into place with day cap. It's quicker. It's more precise. Way more precise. I mean, I think I got an inverter in the house somewhere, but I wouldn't want to do OTR. Lemon juice. You can see it. A little lemon juice. Got a couple jars of that. Yep, pretty cool. I got some of my brain powder order too. I bought some more of that. I love that stuff. But now I sent off some Mental Mojo stuff too. That stuff keeps you on the edge. It's kind of like that stuff the InfoWars was selling. Mental something, I forgot. I wouldn't buy anything from them though. Nothing. This rant's going on too long. I just making this point that I like temping. I mean, I know I won't be doing it forever. It fits my lifestyle. I like being a local, and I thought I would like doing over the road and stuff, but honestly, if the world was different, would I do OTR? Like, I'll give you an example. Let's say everything was organic. Let's say the job is boring now, man. It's a really boring job, OTR. You just go to a lot of shitty places and deal with a lot of nasty people. Real talk. I wouldn't suggest anybody get into OTR. It's a really shitty, nasty job. Like my friend Denzel does, there's too many jobs out there like his that make money. And then these hotel runs are pretty cool. Like, I got to do kind of what he does, the Samaritan's Purse thing, where he has whole days he gets paid where he just, goes and messes around for the day. Goes and gets drunk or something. He might move like one run across the street or down the road. Me, I was going, it was a good 10-minute, 15-minute trip to the lot. Drop the trailer, paperwork on a magnet on the trailer, and you grab empty and come back. You might do one of those an hour. And then, like, the last couple of days, I told Denzel, I said, those were Denzel days. I told my dad those were Denzel days. I told him I was going to wear a red shirt those days because, I might move one trailer. And then the dude was the ABF dude, bring the cardboard up in the pup trailer, and he just drop it and take the one out the door. And then I would pick the one he dropped and put that in the door. Which I didn't mind doing. And I sat there the whole time until he came back. And to move the truck out the way and, I call him Denzel days. I'm not making as much money as he was, and I wasn't. He's talking about working, getting paid a day's wage for just sitting up there. It wasn't like that for me. I was still having to work and still show up to work and did little prayers and stuff. Yeah, I still had to do that. And then I'm not a winter person. Being up there in Boone, dealing with that type of cold, I had the equipment and the field jacket and stuff like that, that wool field. I had the equipment, but that's different. Where it's 30s every day, and now I'm here it's in the 50, it's 44 or whatever here, and I got short sleeves on. I'm a little duster jacket on today. Very nice weather. Very nice weather now. I wouldn't, I don't know, I guess I got used to it. I got a little scarf or something, that's it. Will I ever get a truck driver? My application with CMPD, they didn't get it somehow. I'm gonna go to the library, do what I gotta do with that. Yeah, do what I gotta do with that and get it scanned over so I can send this back, my hotel receipts and stuff. But when I go over there, I'm gonna probably just copy the draft I did, the CMPD on there. I got everything pretty much laid out as far as my history. Nothing has changed, I realize now I should have done that in advance. Trying to do that on a hotel computer was not a wise decision. I gotta cultivate good judgment. That wasn't good judgment. I waited till the last minute. And you should have your application ready before the opening starts. And I gotta wait that long anyway because it opens up January the 1st, 10th, 31, 3 months. So that was on my end. That was my fault. I gotta get get up on that. Honestly, I'm worried Eagle might have fucked my record up. I'm a little scared by that. I have not applied with any other companies really since Reliable. But the fact that Reliable dropped me like that, I'm scared Eagle might have fucked me up. Because I pulled my DAC report and it has the S on it, like I have violations, but it doesn't say what they are, which means that you have to call to find out. And I'm a little bit scared that, that means I have no hand in it. Yeah, people told me they're a fucked up company. They fucked me up. Yeah, that's why I haven't applied again with Ashley. I don't want to go back over the road, man. I don't want to go back over the road. I don't want to fly over there. I mean, that's how I've changed. Because 10 years ago or something, I would have been like, yeah, I get to fly out. We get to fly over to Colorado. And I was like, nah. Yeah. I mean, hey, anything could happen. You know what I mean? And hey, there's no telling what the future may bring. God may somehow lead me to Ashley Furniture. I'll never say never. But I don't want to do that. Don't want to have to do that. I don't. And then I'm a little bit worried that if I apply with them again. But the only thing about them is I applied with them because when Ego let me go, I went to California like right almost immediately. And I had I had applied with Reliable. Went and met with them and everything. They didn't talk to me for like 3 weeks. And they brought me in there. Angela brought me on there around the same time as the other folks did. Angelo called me the same day the woman that Ashley called. We was on the way back from Cali, and I was like, so I went with Reliable. That was the only thing that got me. The lady, I applied with her again. She's like, what's wrong? I was like, I don't want to go back to OTR. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. It's really hard to stay in shape doing that. Like I told my dad, my brother's a trainer and all this. And he does okay, and that's great. And I'm proud of him. Proud of Tyrell. Abdullah, excuse me. I'm proud of my brother. I really am. And I told him his future's bright, man. I'm proud of you. On this video. I don't want to do that. In fact, when we were on the group talk on Messenger, he kept coughing. And I was telling him, like, you're going from one day 70-something degrees and tomorrow it's 20. And I didn't realize it then. That's really bad for your body. That's really bad. And I had a cooler. And see, I didn't learn about all that until, like, I didn't get a cooler until later. I got an inverter, like, later. I got a, what's that stuff called? Inverter. I had my little Heartline shower. All that stuff came later. Don't get it twisted. Hey, if somebody's like, I got a friend of mine open his own company. If he said, I need a driver, he want to pay me some real money. Shoot. Hey, let's talk. I'm not closed off, but it's just that I don't want to go back to that. My God, I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to that, bro. At all. I don't miss it. That lifestyle is it's hard on the body. And I used to get lost on the road. Like life, I used to feel like when I was home with my LHS and all that, I used to feel like tomorrow at this time that truck would leave. Like autopilot. My life was on autopilot and I hated it. Like doing temp work, it's variety. I feel like I live a life. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm a loser and with you guys, but I don't miss that. I've done videos talking about OTR lifestyle, and for a person that wants to be healthy, it's tough. So I was talking earlier, I mentioned it to you. And what if the world was different? What if things were healthier? What if you had truck stops that had what's them juice bars and stuff, and wheatgrass shots? What if you had like spas and stuff. I ain't talking about no sexual stuff. What if you had like, while you're waiting, you're not fighting for fucking detention, and you had like, what's them things where you everybody had an APU in the truck, or if you know what I mean, where you're not having to like worry about not idling for your fuel bonus. What if every company was like that, healthy culture? I don't know. Like Prime or Walmart, great example, Prime. I mean, I've seen companies picking up the Rolling Strong thing. That's something that just happened, so it remains to be seen where that's going. But that trucking stuff, that's a really destructive lifestyle. I've got to tell you, that's a really destructive lifestyle, and you gain weight without noticing it very easily. But then it's like, who are you working for? The culture of these companies. One thing I would say about these companies too is just all of them going out bankrupt and stuff. I mentioned Jevic, Oliver Tolliver, OTI, whatever, Falcon, Celadon, Aero back in the day. All these companies stranding drivers make me wonder if trucking is even something that is even worthwhile anymore. I was talking to a friend of mine, and it's almost like God wanted me to say this. I mentioned to him about Consolidated Freight Lines, how they went out of business back in the day. And he was like, they were in business since like the 30s, like the beginning of trucking, and they went out of business. And I remember there's a video on YouTube of this guy that was like so proud of the team and so proud of the company. They're all white. Everybody up there was white. They're like, we want to give something back to the company, and so the drivers got like this trailer or this truck and spent their own money to like spec it up and stuff. And then next year everybody got fired. Next year everybody got laid off. That's capitalism. That's capitalism. I think that back then maybe they kind of had the idea of somewhat being fair, whereas now like with Celadon, they're like, shit, we don't give a fuck. Fuck about you. We don't give a fuck about these drivers. Capitalism. I think it is so tragic, I think it is so tragic to those people and to their families. I think it is so tragic for anybody to be laid off around the holidays. But sometimes I feel like sometimes God will have you learn something about people, and it may not be the way you want to learn it, but it's still a lesson. And sometimes I feel like that's what that is. These are lessons about an industry that is unfair, is unjust, and really doesn't care about individuals or keeping their word. You know what I mean? And I think about working for SRT and working for them, and it's like, man, I'm not gonna say I wasted my life, because I didn't. I learned a lot and stuff like that. I made some friends that I still have to this day. Make sure I still have my love card and stuff, because I'm gonna have to fuel tonight. Trying to stockpile up my showers and stuff, because I'm making another trip to Cali. That may happen. I've still got those checks and stuff you need to fuel. I still got a bunch of those. This makes it quicker. You can go ahead and write it out while you're waiting for them to give you the number. So that's pretty cool. Instead of waiting, you gotta go get the shit. Yeah, I liked it. I'm kind of scared about going back across any kind of wintertime weather, but I liked it. Miss Pat said they're kind of breaking it up to